Hey, good morning. Chuck here with Apple Drains. Today we're here in Jacksonville, Florida, and we are going to be waterproofing the foundation of this house. I showed you this video about wet floors not too long ago. Pretty extensive job. Let's go over it real quick and show you what we're going to try to do today. Okay, so now it's time to set up the sump basin, and there are nipples on the side that we could cut off, but they're going to be a little bit too high, so we're going to use a 4-inch hole saw to come a little deeper. Remember, you can put a hole in here anywhere you want as long as you're above the float of your pump. So there's one side. Now we need to do the other side. So same thing, at approximately the same level. I'm going to go a little bit deeper on this side because we're bringing in another. And there's the other side. So now we can attach both footer pipes, and you see my hand coming in here? Both footer pipes can come right into that sump basin. So remember, we could cut off nipples, but they're going to be a little bit too high because here's the top of the footer. Actually the top of the footer is down here. So, and the footer's deep, it's way down here. We want to be right beside it. Got a line coming in here, and another line coming in over there. Next, we're going to drill the discharge for the sump pump, which is going to come up here, but I'm going to show you how to set the sump pump up next. Okay, so next we're going to set up the Zoller M98. This is a 1/2 horsepower pump. It'll push between 80 and 90 gallons per minute, so like 3 trash cans full of water every minute, and that depends on how high you're lifting the water and how far you're pushing it. So I'd say we're probably going to get maybe 60-70 gallons a minute. Still a lot of water. We're going to lift it up about a foot, but we're going to send it all the way back behind me to that retention pond, so it's pushing it a long ways. Very powerful pump, should easily keep up with the system. The way this pump sets up, if you notice, it's kind of heavy. There's a threaded port right here. This is 1.5 inches. You start with a male threaded 1.5 inch adapter, and you put this into the port. We're going to screw this in here as tight as we can with our hand. You don't need to wrench it down, but get it on there as tight as you can. Next, we cut a small little riser just to get, above this protection bar. This bar protects the float. I don't know if you can hear that, but it kicks on the pump on and off. From this small riser, we also need to put in a pressure relief hole. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a 3/16 inch hole in here because it can get airlock between the pump and the check valve. We don't want that to happen, otherwise it won't pump any water. This is a check valve. This only allows water to flow one direction. And any check valve that you buy is going to have some type of marking. And if you look closely, you'll see those arrows that tells me the water flow goes this direction. So that would go on top of our small riser. This is held together, I'm just going to set it on here, but this is held together with no-hubs and stainless steel bands. Very strong, very secure, but it does give a little bit of play in case you do need to offset something. Remember, we're going to have another 90 up here where it comes out off the pit. So if it offsets a little bit, no worries, but try to keep it as plumb as possible. So let's go ahead and glue this up. And I'm using this Oatly Fusion. This is a 2-in-1, so it's already got the primer built into the glue. Makes it real simple for anybody. Put a good amount of glue on your riser and inside the fitting. We're going to push it and hold it. A little twist. Just hold it for a second because it's slippery. It tries to back out, and now it's secure. I mean, that's solid. Next, we'll put the check valve on. Remember to check your arrows pointing upward, and get it on there good and tight. I'm going to loosen this up a little bit because it's still kind of tight. Make sure your check valve sits. There's actually seats inside here that, like a hub. it will hit that hub and you'll know you're on there. And then we're going to tighten up the stainless steel bands using your handy dandy Black & Decker or whatever you got. But make it as tight as your drill can make it. It has to be really tight. I've already tightened that one up and the top one. So now we're ready to set the pump down in place. And the reason that we're stopping here is we need to get the measurement as it comes up where we're going to come out of the pit. So let's put the pump down in the pit and we'll see where we're at. Okay, so I put a small riser from the check valve, tightened that up. Now I haven't glued this, but I'm just putting it up here so I can get a measurement of where I'm going to come through. And then we're going to use a 2-inch hole saw. Remember, 2-inch is the exact outer diameter of 1.5 inches, okay? So it'll slide right through there and be real tight. And if you're off by 1/2 inch or whatever, it'll be no problem. But try to get as close as possible. Nice. So you can see when I slide this through, it's going to meet up just perfectly inside there. Now we're ready to glue this, and then we'll work on the rest of the line outside. And I'll bring the camera over to show you another review of how the pump looks inside the pit. But we're going to glue it up. Again, using a 2-in-1, I'm going to put a little bit of glue around the riser, glue around my fitting, twist it, try to line it up a little bit. Remember, you can move your pump. That's set. Next, I'm going to slide this through the hole, and we'll put some glue around that and around the fitting. This is going to set up really quick, so when you put it together, be ready. Just hold it for a second and we're secure. So let me show you what that looks like. So starting out here, you can see where it butts out, it stopped here. We're going to be able to hook our line up from here and go out towards the pond. But let's look down inside and you can see it really well. That's a Zoller M98, and if you look carefully, you'll see we've got the male threaded 1.5 inch adapter, a small riser, has a hole for pressure relief. Then we have check valves, arrows pointing upwards, a 90 to make the first turn, and then it's coming right out through the wall. It's really that simple. So hooking up the pump, it really is that simple. And I know a lot of people, they get kind of fearful of hooking up something they've never done before. But if you watch this video or any of the other videos I've showed you, hooking up that sump pump, it really is that simple to do. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day.